Chapter 64-97. Although Chavrin felt that the world had gone mad, he subconsciously helped John up. After John stood up, he immediately used his left hand to reach around his pocket, trying to take out the phone that he had put in his right pocket with his right hand. However, John's phone was always kept close to his body in the inner pocket of his jacket. It was convenient to put it in with his right hand, but it was difficult for him to bend his left hand over and take out the phone on the same side. John tried several times in vain. Chavrin, who was standing by, watched his left hand constantly change angles, bend inwards, and reach inwards. He was dumbfounded. He had seen John's left hand being cut off before, and now he saw his left hand turning and bending in front of him. And it was extremely flexible. At first, he felt a strange sense of separation in his heart. But as he watched, he began to feel anxious about John's failures. At the same time, he was hesitant in his heart, not knowing whether he should help. If he didn't help, it would be a bit uncomfortable to see him in such a state. If he had helped, it would have been a waste of time if he had intervened in such a simple matter, which would have made him unhappy. While hesitating, John was almost collapsed. He looked up at Chavrin and shouted angrily, "Why don't you help me? What's wrong with helping me take out my phone?" Chavrin said hurriedly, "Grand Commander, calm down. I will help you take it out right away." As he said that, he stepped forward and took out the phone. John snatched the phone from him angrily, but his left hand was not used to it. The phone flew out of his hand after he snatched it. He stumbled over and picked up the phone from the ground. Finding that the phone was not damaged, he quickly unlocked it and called Revendor. While dialing the phone, he said to Chavrin, "Go out first." Chavrin didn't want to stay here either. Hearing this, he quickly retreated. Revendor quickly answered the phone and asked him, "John, is there any new progress on your side?" John said with great grievance, "Grandpa, I feel wronged." As he spoke, tears flowed uncontrollably and his voice was choked with sobs. Revendor heard him crying and complaining about grievances, and thought that he still hadn't gotten over the haze of having his left hand cut off. So he comforted, "John, think about your brother's fate, and then look at yourself. You are already very lucky. Your brother lost his station in Cyprus, and an earl died in his station. You also lost a station, and a quasi-earl is also missing in your station. If we talk about responsibility, you two are equally responsible. But he is already dead, and you only lost a hand. What's there to cry about?" John cried and said, "No, Grandpa. The Lord has punished me, and I dare not disobey. It's just that, Grandpa, you don't know. Just now, that DMN mysterious man came to the door and played a trick on your grandson. That man is simply a devil." Revendor exclaimed, "What did you say? That mysterious man came to you? He came to you and didn't kill you?" John choked up and said, "That BA5 tar didn't even bother to kill me. He just treated me like a dog." John said, "Grandpa, you just told your grandson about the reshaping pill a few days ago. Today, that BA5 tard came to the door and fed me one without saying anything." Revendor snorted and laughed. "John, do you believe this kind of thing? The reshaping pill is extremely precious. Even the Lord has not been able to find all the materials to refine it. Among them, there is a legendary medicinal material called Fenguteng, which the Lord has not found for hundreds of years. That person casually fed you a pill and said it was the reshaping pill. Do you really believe it?" John hurriedly said, "No, Grandpa. Of course, I didn't believe it at first. I completely thought he was talking nonsense. As a result, the guy didn't care whether I believed it or not. And he fed it to me directly. The key point is that after I ate it, my left hand really grew out. I watched it grow from a small bud into a complete left hand little by little. The whole process may not have even taken 5 minutes." "Hiss,"